Greetings, I'm Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, today with more Pillarless tabletop games, and there's a classic to me, um, Legend of the Five Rings, the old trading card game, as opposed to the living card game that lasted all of 3 years. This is one that lasted far longer and, came first and everything. This very specifically are cards from a couple demo decks from Ivory Edition, a unicorn and a spider deck. But basically, you'll have, for your cards, you'll have your stronghold. You'll have your dynasty cards, which will include personalities, holdings, and other types. And your fate deck, which will consist of units, actions, and other types of cards. If you're ever need to look at your cards and you're not looking at the backs of them, you can easily see the difference between the two, because your fate deck will have a focus number, your dynasty cards will not. I'll get into that later. What you're trying to do is one of several things. If you destroy your opponent's provinces through battle, you win. If you bring your family honor up to 40 or more, you win. If a player has negative 20 honor or less, they lose. And finally, if you can play the ever tricky to play 5 rings, then you win by Enlightenment victory. So how the game sets up is you'll shuffle each of your decks separately. You'll feature your stronghold. With the Ivory Edition, if you're going second, you will use the white border side. You go second because by having a less family owner. You'll set up 4 provinces, you'll draw a hand of 5 fate cards, and the first player will take their turn. The sequence is action phase, where anything that is bowed becomes unbowed. You can use it again. You turn your cards in the provinces face up. At the start, they'll be face down, and you'll turn them up. I don't want to have to go through that right now. You can equip stuff from your hand, like followers and items. There'll also be like equipment and such, and spells for Shugenja. So, like, for example, there's light cavalry. It costs 2 gold to attach to a personality. Personalities are your main way of fighting, and followers give them more strength in doing so. And any actions that can be played at this point in time. If you're the active player, you can take limited and open actions. If you're not the active player, you can only take open actions. It runs off the magic. Active player plays something, other player can respond if they want to. Or the active player does nothing, and the other player can respond, and then the active player can respond to that. But after all the actions are done, we go to the attack phase, where you'll have your personalities and any followers attached to them, and you'll be declaring, which province you're going to attack. I forget if you can attack a province, only one province, or if you can attack 2. But if they have no defense, then what you need to beat is their stronghold's province value, or their strength value, with your force. So 7 plus 5 is 12 against 8. We'll destroy that province. This card is lost. And then the rest of the cards shift closer together. And 3 more destroyed provinces will end them. They go home bowed, and they are unable to defend their home. So be sure to attack when you're sure you can defend yourself as well, or you really don't have anything to worry about. Yeah. After. Oh yeah. Another thing with the attack is if you are opposed, if a unit would, be destroyed as part of the battle, unit or personality, every one destroyed is worth 2 honor and gets you closer to the honor victory. Yeah. But after the attack phase is done over with, there's the dynasty phase, where you will value your stronghold and holdings for money, or specifically gold, to bring in more. So, early on, what you want to do is build up your holdings to have more money to work with. So, the Colonial Temple, for example, produces 2 gold, or reduces the cost of an attachment by 4. These are beginner decks, so there's no attachments to worry about, I think. Actually, I believe the followers would count, so that might actually be the better thing. Holdings come into play bowed. There's also the classic Jade Works, which reduces the cost of a Jade card. I'm trying to remember if what examples there are for that one, but there'll be various holdings that have special bonuses and discounts and other things. So keep an eye on that for part of your strategy. Alternatively, there's recruiting personalities. They come into play unbowed, which is, if you need to defend yourself, it's something. Once per turn, you can proclaim. You bring in... first, you have to meet the honor requirement. So, they have an honor requirement of 4. And as long as we got 4 or more honor, they can come into play. They have a personal honor of 3, when that counts. Yeah, you're going to need plenty of dice to keep track of the honor. But once per turn, you can proclaim and bring in the personality and gain 2 honor. Either 2 honor or their personal honor. I'm trying to remember. Proclaim is equal to the personality's personal honor. So that's 3 extra honor. Get closer to that victory. Yep, holdings, personalities, and then you can discard any unwanted dynasty cards, and then refill face down. And then you draw a fate card. If you have more than 8 fate cards in hand, discard down to 8. And then passing the turn to the next player is done with the phrase, "The table is yours." And then they'll take their turn. And the play will alternate back and forth until somebody wins. Fun stuff in this game includes duels, where duels can be declared. Let's say there's a duel between these two and he started it. Yeah. So, you have two options: focus or strike. You are fighting with chi. Chi is critical to duels and Shugenja magic shenanigans. You can take a card from your hand or from the top of your deck and place it face down as your part of your focus, or you can strike if you think you have enough to win. Once you have 4 focus, you have to strike on your next uh, choice. At which point, everybody will flip up their cards and add their focus values to their chi, and the highest wins the duel. In winning the duel, there will be a card that basically states how the duel happens in the first place, and those consequences will be applied. If there's ever a tie and one of the personalities is a duelist, the duelist wins the tie. Beware of dueling crane clan on that one. Other fun stuff is equipment, spells, things that fortify your provinces, the rings, and I'm wondering, do they still do the ancestors for this one? I remember they were a thing when I last played, but they might still be in effect. But yeah, if you're interested in the game, have fun finding the old cards. There's still plenty to be found from various editions. They changed things after a certain point to kind of streamline stuff a little bit and make it look a little bit better. This is definitely easier to read. There's also cards that are really old that instead of having this, they have interlocking rings, which is like a no, you don't for the International Olympic Committee. But yeah, in terms of clan options, we've got lion, which is like honorable samurai, crab or like defenders, unicorn or cavalry, um, heavy, crane, duelists, artists, phoenix, shugenja, and other magic stuff. I still have my old phoenix card because that's what I love. Dragon, monks, um, scorpion, ninjas, spider, the Shadowlands stuff, and mantis clan, which I think they do a lot of naval stuff. But there's 9 major clans to play with. What I want to do with this game is get at least one deck for each of them. I think there was like a special edition set of 9 decks, and I wish I could find that. And I wish I had the money for it. But that's a whole other story. Why do I love this game? One, feudal Japan. That craziness of conflict. 2, there's also that potential for multiplayer. Well, why I want to get the set of 9 is to just do an evening long session of 9 players at one table with each of the clans represented, and just do a crazy evening long session of that just for the fun of it. And 3, also the crazy magic stuff. There's demons and other spirits, and my favorite Phoenix, of course. It's it's just crazy awesome, and I recommend it. It's not always the easiest game, but it has all the strategy and thought to it, and I think more people should experience that. You know, all these other card games, they're nice for what they do. But this is special. It's just such a special game, and I love it. It had the LCG version, which lasted a little while. I never got into it. I'm not sure what they did with it. Um, I'm half tempted to keep an eye open at the next auction if someone has one of those sets for sale, but for me personally, this is what I like. So, good luck finding cards. Try it out with someone else who likes, feudal Japan but crazier. And love it. Alright, thanks very much for watching. This is Pillar. I'll see you next time.